Hey, Jake Lloyd Bacon. I'm stoked to do another wrestling podcast today.
Me too, Scott Narver. As always, Pro Wrestling Palskis available via Dragon Wagon Radio on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts.
Jake, sorry to interrupt. I just been informed that we're no longer on Dragon Wagon Radio. We've just been moved to Paramount Plus.
All right, well, we're happy to be on Paramount Plus, the only place for you to get Pro Wrestling Palskis.
Jake, again, just getting another notification here.
Yeah?
We've actually moved one more time. We're actually going to be on TKO.
TKO, all right. Pro Wrestling Palskis on TKO. I'm proud to be a part of the TKO family, I guess.
Jake, sorry.
I don't...
Things have changed once again.
Jeez Louise.
We're actually moving to the stream.tv once again.
Is it rolling? Is this on the air?
Uh-oh, sounds like we have some audio issues. Yep, we're back.
Wrestlemania Relocation and more today on Pro Wrestling Palskis. Hey, Scott Narver.
Hey, Jake Lloyd Bacon.
We are not live for today's Pro Wrestling Palskis.
But we are in the year 2025 still.
We are in the year of 2025.
We don't bank them that early.
$25 is all it takes to get access to everything over on the Patreon at patreon.com/PW Palskis. Yeah, we're doing it. We're here. Thanks to those of us. I always say those of us. Thanks to those of us.
Who?
Thanks to those of us who do join these via the live streams.
I do.
You do. That's true.
So is it thanks to me?
That is true. You are one of them.
Us?
Yeah, thanks to you. Except for today, because we are remote. We're back in the Thunderdome.
Yeah, we may be this way for the foreseeable future. Things have changed on my end. My dad is living at home, and I am a 24/7 caregiver now to my father. So I am not able to make the drive to Dragon Wagon Radio Studio anymore, or the Stream.tv or Paramount Plus. They're all too far away, to be perfectly honest.
So we do apologize for those of you who do look forward to the live streams. We will, sort that out. Just because we're remote today and we're not live doesn't mean that every time we're remote we won't be live. We will get that sorted in the weeks to come. So we will return to your YouTube feeds and the Patreon shortly. But just because we're not live, Scott, it doesn't mean we get out of acknowledging the current PWP champ for the month of May, Tony Griggs. In his second month as champion, Tony Griggs will defend that PWP championship next week.
He's a regular Chris Pine and Denzel Washington train movie. He is
Unstoppable or Nonstop. Right. I don't remember which one.
Unstoppable.
Okay. Scott, as of the recording day, last night was Saturday night's main event.
Oh shit! I thought about that for a moment, and then other things were happening in the house, and I went, "Well, that's just not happening for me."
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I forgot it was happening, like I did for the for everything in recent memory, and I heard a couple bloop 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 bleep blop blops from the Discord, and I went, "Wow, Discord's really active." Oh shit, that's right, it's Saturday. I bet your Saturday night main event is today. And so I turned it on, and I just so happened to catch the beginning of John Cena versus R-Truth. So then
you mean Ron Cena?
Ron Cena. God, that was good. I love a Ron Cena. So
yeah, there's a few things
match
on that show I was looking forward to watching, but just it wasn't in the cards.
I So I didn't really catch it at live after that initial match. I got pulled out and I had to go do something last night. But this morning I did watch the opening match because I was looking forward to it, which is the tag match. It was two of my all-time favorites tagging up CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. So I watched that. That was a very fun, very good tag match. That was, I'm not gonna say it was like a pay-per-view level match, but it was a good match that, moved our story forward. It introduced to us the newest member of the Heyman stable.
Oh, they got more?
Yeah. Do you want to know who it is? Spoilers.
It's Sami
Zayn. That's right. No, it is.
Really? Because he's been acting so poorly on television. Like no, we're totally friends. Like, we're gonna make this work. Jey Uso, like, we're such good buddies. Like, everything's cool, right? CM Punk, like, we're such good buddies.
He's trying
cool,
too
right?
hard.
So I was like, oh, it's him. It's him.
Well, maybe it still will be, but maybe that was just a misdirect to make you think it was. But Bronson Reed, the old Auszilla.
Oh.
Bronson Reed is joining them.
So Heyman would potentially look like he's in better shape in some instances? Is that why?
Wow. Shots fired. Scott Narver. You don't think Bronson Reed looks like an athlete?
No, I'm just saying he's rather large and rotund. And is that where Heyman's going? Because he's like, wait a second. I kind of look like a fat guy amongst all this. But if I get a heavier set guy,
right,
then maybe they'll think like, oh,
if they see Bronson Reed
that
move,
older guy is like in his shape.
Yes, exactly.
So I might look all right.
Maybe. Bronson was rocking the 80s, 90s incredibly wet hair for no apparent reason, which I thought was fantastic. His whole shirt was just drenched, looked like he came in from the rain.
Okay. Hot.
But so that's what happened. And then I didn't watch. I kind of want to watch the cage match, even though I'm not really into Priest. The cage match started when I had to bail, essentially. And I like caught clips of it. I think my favorite part about it was Jesse Ventura shitting on the premise of the steel cage. I did hear that because I was mostly listening to that one.
Yeah.
He was like, "What? Wait, what? He opened the door? I didn't know you could walk out of a door." He was like,
yes,
"That's
did,
it.
Jesse.
It's over.
You've called these before.
It's over. That's annoying." And then the other thing was trying to ask if the referee gets paid less since all they have to do is count. So Jesse was very entertaining. But
right.
I know I might want to like catch up and rewatch some of it. But Sushi Pants! I'm getting to see. We're not live yet, so they don't get to see that. But I get to see a little sorry Sushi Pants back on the pod.
Yep.
So, anyways, that's all I have to say about wrestling.
Okay.
Good show.
Well, I'm gonna make you say more.
Oh no, you have
news.
Oh, I didn't realize we were doing news. I didn't realize we had more to talk about. I thought that was it.
Yeah. Well, you got to show up to the pre-show meetings. That's not the pre-show, but the pre-show meetings.
Okay, the meetings that happen during the pre-show.
Yeah,
I see.
They're totally different meetings.
But are you at them? Because you're at every pre-show. I don't know how you can be in both places unless, oh my God, you've done the cloning like multiplicity, and that way explains why sometimes you're fucking, just being like, I got pizza thief.
I'm just a bunch of number fours.
You're a bunch of number fours.
That's me.
Oh boy, I got a wallet.
I'm gonna eat a dolphin.
I'm gonna eat a dolphin.
You're gonna pet a dolphin, Lenny.
I'm gonna go to SeaWorld. I'm gonna eat a dolphin. This is not a movie podcast. We should watch Multiplicity for a watch along. I haven't seen a movie in a long time.
I love
that movie.
But until then, we have to watch another movie star that should be cloned over and over and over again for a sequel to Santa's Slay, because I'm talking about Goldberg.
What's Goldberg into these days?
He hints at WWE retirement match location.
Oh. Okay. Where is he from? A lot of these guys like to do it in their hometowns. But
yeah.
I don't know where he's from. I'm trying to remember Goldberg. Is he a Texan? Is he football Minnesota? Because I feel like he's associated with a football team, but it might not be the football team from where he's from. It might just be a team he played for.
Well, I'll tell you this.
I still think every professional sports team should only be able to have on their roster people who are from that city and or state, or like a specific mileage away from where they play.
Yeah, region. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise we're not. What
It's
do I care to root for this team when none of the people that play on this team are even from here? Most of them are
you
foreigners.
don't like slave trading? You're not into that? You're not into like
Is that-
buying and
is
selling
that how
people
you
through
see-
territories?
Is that how you see Major League Sports, the slave trade? I mean, they
With
are
a bunch
paid
of
very
rich white
handsomely.
owners and majority black players. Nah, I don't see it that way at all.
Alrighty. Well, anyways, where's he gonna?
He, as Bill Goldberg says, this will give you a little hint because you're getting there.
Okay.
Quote, "It's going to be in the South. This gives me the opportunity to put a stamp on my career in front of the people I care the most about."
Oh, I see. He's saying he needs
Ringing
to
any
get
bells?
he needs to get back to God's country, is what it sounds like he's saying here. I mean, I don't think he would refer to Florida as the South. I said Texas, and you.
Yeah, that's the North, clearly.
Well, it's its own thing. It's Florida. I think that maybe Atlanta.
Ding, ding, ding. Give the man a hot dog. No, not that way. The other way.
Eat a hot dog longwise. Oh, wait. What's the phrase? What do they say? Eat a hot dog lengthwise.
Eat a hot dog longwise.
Yeah, lengthwise. There's all those there's not t-shirts. Those signs that people bring about
Yeah, Goldberg eats corn the long way.
There it is.
Yeah, but
I know it
How
doesn't
do
work
you
with
eat
a
a
hot
hot
dog.
dog?
Well, but if a hot dog, it would be the short way then. Imagine eating a hot dog from the side of it, like
like a
corn.
typewriter.
Exactly. Fuck, I want a hot dog.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to fuck a hot dog.
Is there? There's
Yes.
a wiener schnitzel up on the corner here, but you said that's not good.
Well,
I've never had a wiener
Those
schnitzel.
aren't hot dogs.
All right, so he's wrestling in Atlanta.
Yes, he was part of the Atlanta Falcons. He's from
Falcons,
Atlanta,
got
Georgia.
it.
By God, he won the title in Atlanta, and he is an Atlanta boy through and through, and it's pretty obvious that that's where it would be happening. So, sounds like
Do we have an event?
this may come to fruition.
Is there an event already that we know of that WWE is doing in Atlanta, or is that not knowledge?
The last time they were there was Bad Blood in 2024 at State Farm Arena, and that was when him and Gunther had an altercation.
Okay.
Do you recall that?
Was Brett came up in conversation or something? I can't. It was something like that.
Yeah, like some special about them,
Right.
Brett and Goldberg thing had gone on again, like another retread of all this stuff.
Yeah, it was Gunther making fun of Goldberg for being a bad wrestler. I think that was the bit, and saying like you were no Bret Hart or something like that.
Well, he went both ways because then Brett was on one of the shows too, and just like Goldberg was right, and Brett was right. He played both sides.
Sure.
Of it. But when it was Goldberg in the crowd and he was doing the shtick to Goldberg, like it was hot, and the crowd's like wanting Goldberg to just jump the rail and beat the ever-loving shit out of him.
Right.
I think it's a solid segment.
Sure.
And people were speculating then, like, will this be the guy? Because Goldberg is talking about just, one more, and that's it. Like he definitely wants a definitive end to it. Because
Right.
I think most guys like in his place do. When you go to the cons, you see people around, that are fans. You want to be able to go, that was it.
Right.
The last one is done. Like, hey, one more match. Like, no, I had it. It was billed as the retirement match. Like, I'm fucking done. It's nice that you want to see me again, but it's over.
Yeah. So him and Gunther is the top prospect probably then.
Just because they have the footage,
Yeah.
and you'd think that he'd probably. I know we're in a weird time where the star goes out as the victor at this point.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We've had Sting going out and winning.
Well, Angle lost, and that's sort of a recent memory one.
Yeah,
But
a lot of people also went like, wait, that wasn't really the last one, was it?
right.
Flair won. I'm pretty sure that tag match. where he almost fucking died.
Right, yeah. In
Andrade.
WWE canon, he lost, but yes, of course.
Yeah, but that was the first.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Taker won the Boneyard, but that's a special thing because it was weird.
That's his last match.
Yeah.
That's his retirement match. So yeah, we've had these legendary status figures not
right.
doing the job for somebody else. That was tradition.
Is there any? I mean,
that I'm sure you can find all these guys go back in some interview and go like, can't believe that guy fucking didn't want to do favors for this to that. It's like, yeah, well, neither did you.
There's no world where this happens this year and we get Goldberg Cena just for the spectacle of it again, do we?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure with Goldberg, he's probably wanted to do it sooner rather than later because he has talked about in the past it's always harder and harder to get in the physical shape that he wants to be in for the sake of wrestling,
right?
To be able to do the types of matches that he does, and for the presentation of it.
Yeah, he doesn't
because
he's
no
like
slouch.
No, he doesn't want to look like a schlub.
Yeah, he doesn't want to look like his son years ago. Not his son now. His son years ago.
I love how much you hate this young boy.
No, dude, we shamed him into being ripped. Yeah. The internet did good.
All right. This is why you're such an advocate of bullying.
Totally. Look at where I'm at.
I just see cat hair floating across the screen in front of you.
That's all the more reason why I said it. Why I sit in this garage.
Oh, sushi.
Right on. With a cat on my lap and telling wrestlers how it should be.
Are there any other names that are modern, like that are not Cena and that isn't because they have the footage? Are any other names that you'd like to see him wrestle against, either for a victory or a loss, if you think it would help a specific person's career?
You know, I think there would have been a time for Cody because you have this Southern connection, you have the WCW connection. I don't think Cody needs it at this point. But could that still be something kind of cool? Yeah. Who else comes to mind that might be kind of fun? There's a few that come to mind where I go, no, I don't think they really fit. Like a what's his name? A Grayson Waller type.
Sort of similar to where Baron Corbin was when he faced Kurt Angle, like a heel that kind of could maybe do something with it. Yeah. I feel like it would kind of have to be a monster heel though, in order to sell the Goldberg spectacle of it, like a Walter, unfortunately, but maybe like a Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker would be a good one.
Yeah.
Braun would be a great one because there's a similarity there. There's
fast. It's spears.
Yep.
He was just faster and harder hitting. And he'd be a great one.
And you can have Heyman in his corner, jaw jacking. And I actually think they
got a history.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Big E certainly because
I
think it's titled Goldberg at 54 is the doc. It's a great documentary, and that's where you see Goldberg's son like really getting into shape.
Okay.
But
puberty really started doing some good work on that boy.
There's an interaction at the beginning, and Big E's talked about it. Like, fucking loves Goldberg.
Yeah,
he's just a huge Goldberg fan. He turns into a little kid.
Really?
He's talking to him, even though I think he watched him way later when he wasn't a little kid.
Right.
Because Big E didn't watch that much wrestling when he was young, from what I recall. I may be wrong on that, but he just fucking loves the guy, and they never got to have a thing. And there's even like Goldberg going, "Yeah, we should do something together." So that would have been cool. That can be in the cards. I don't know.
It could be, if he loves him so much, he could tag with him against the other New Day members.
Menu. I mean, they have pancakes.
I'm so hungry,
cereal?
Scott, that all of my words are coming out in food-related ways.
I certainly, when this was talked about with the possibility of it being AEW, if he had a retirement match there.
Okay.
That's MJF is perfect.
That's the must do. Yeah.
The biggest, baddest Jew in the business.
Sure. Yeah.
Between those two. And
again, another situation where he loved him as a kid. He was his favorite. There's literally footage of a little MJF saying, "Goldberg's my favorite wrestler." That's.
And he could pop him with the fucking ring.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
Like that could be he cheated.
Yep.
And outdid it. And gets away. He gets beat up to no end.
Goldberg looks great. He's just a slime ball, and he beats him. Yeah.
So that's the dream scenario, but that's unlikely. But I think a lot of the other people we mentioned, I think Braun Breaker really wins out. Like, that'd be just great. That his first real bragging right. Because I think that's such a good thing for a heel to have of, I retired this guy.
Yep.
You're never going to see him again because I took him away from you.
Right. It's always lessened a little bit when it's announced as a retirement match. But they could still say it.
It's when the career's on the line, but they could still be like, I put him away for good.
Right. But maybe maybe they do that though. Maybe
wrestlers always come out of retirement, but I made sure that he won't because I beat him so bad.
Right.
He's never going to come back.
There you go.
Unless Saudi calls.
Listen.
They didn't take that money.
You know, he still has to get his revenge on that door.
Mm-hmm. Sador. It's like Mansoor, but Sador.
Saudi Arabia. What else we got?
Hey. We're talking about climbing mountains here. There's no bigger mountain than Mount Everest.
Oh, did that little
Darby Allin
crazy dude get up there? Yeah, he's a weirdo.
reached the summit of Mount Everest.
Is it going to change his gimmick now? Is he going to come down and he's going to be like a mountain climber gimmick?
Well, now what he's going to do is he's never actually going to wrestle the match. All the Sherpas are going to do it for him.
Wow, shots fired all around. You are feeling spicy today, Scott Narver.
Yeah, I got a lot of pent up things going on.
That's great. No, I appreciate it. This is my favorite version of you. I mean, it's still pretty crazy. I'm sure he still walked by a lot of frozen bodies.
Right? They're there, right? That's what they say.
Oh, yeah, no, because at some point you can't rescue because you're going to put too many people in danger to rescue somebody. So they just leave them up there, and that's just it.
But can't you do the thing like, what is it, The Simpsons, where you just slide them on down?
The problem is that they turn into big snowballs, and it becomes a danger because the more they roll, the more it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you can take out like a whole city.
Well, don't live near Everest. What's wrong with you?
I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't live near Everest. Why are you directing all of this at me?
Oh, I got a lot of pent up stuff.
That's exciting for him. Is he the only pro wrestler that we know that's ever climbed Mount Everest?
I believe so. And also I'm seeing if it has his he has a world record as well.
Oh, for
that he achieved.
Weirdest guy to climb Mount Everest.
Yep. So he has a world, it's believed to be a world record.
Oh, okay. So nobody was
why
there.
the fuck would anybody else do this? On May the 5th, Darby posted a video of him doing a kickflip on a skateboard at 20,958 feet, which is believed to be a world record.
Got it. So the highest elevated kickflip.
Yeah.
But there was nobody from Guinness there to view it, to acknowledge the height, and to take a measurement and an what do they call something that measures altitude? It's in a plane.
Rob
Altana?
Van Dam.
Oh, the whole fucking show.
Darby Allin successfully reached the summit of Mount Everest. Allin completed the climb at approximately 8:50 a.m. local time on Sunday, May 18th, according to tracking data posted by Everest Chronicles, a platform that logs the movements of climbers in the Himalayas, aka a bunch of fucking creeps.
Stop watching where I'm at all the time, big brother.
Yeah, this is a weird thing to read. So I'm going to read it as is. You can stop me at any point if there's something you want to comment on.
I will try.
A dispatch on the site published Sunday morning titled Top of the World reads, 8:50 a.m. local time summit. Good weather was in our favor, but many teams took advantage of the short window as well, which slowed our progress more than expected. Darby Allin, USA, Ang Dorji Sherpa, Nepal, USA 24th Summit, Pasang Bohit, Nepal, 14th Summit.
It is a very diminishing to be like, wow, he climbed Mount Everest. Yeah, the guy who did it with him, he's done it 14 times.
And 24.
Oh, that's right. The first one was 24. Yeah.
First one was 24. The other one's 14. And he talking to the 24 guy's like, yeah,
it's also
now, right? Like, yeah, it's no big deal.
It's also very interesting that in this article, this professional article that's supposed to be data driven, they're calling him by his wrestling name, Darby Allin.
Is that not his name?
His name is Samuel Ratch.
Really?
Yeah. Sam Ratch. Because he's Ratchet. Get it? Ratchet.
Oh.
Ratchet? I don't know. Yeah, his name is Samuel Ratch. What are you going to do?
What we probably told is like, wait, is that really your name? Because we need it for our records. Yeah, bro, it is. Is that really your face? Because it looks like you painted half of it.
Are you really half a skeleton?
Tashi Thundu Sherpa, Nepal, 12th Summit. And Pemba Sherpa, Nepal, 2nd Summit. So all these dudes fucking, it's the job, right? Like that's what they do.
Yep.
That's their thing. And helping out. They booked a winner right there with Darby.
There's
carried him on his back.
Fuck, I'm never gonna remember what it's called. There's some documentary I think that Discovery had made about a renowned like nature and wildlife photographer, and it's fuck, goddamn, I wish I could remember what it was called now.
Touching the Void?
No, I don't think it's that one, but I know the one you're referencing. But
what I'm referencing is where something goes wrong and they recreate.
That's not it. But that's
sections of it. Like there's talking heads talking about the story, and they recreate it, and the recreations are so fucking real. It's like you're watching it actually happen. It's one of the most terrifying stories, and I don't know how they recreated it. It's amazing. Touching the Void. It's well worth a watch.
Add it to the watch list. In any case, he was up with, I think it was like 2 or 3 different Sherpas for an Everest, like wasn't Everest, but it was one of those.
Kilimanjaro?
It might have been, but he was so
Fuji?
Enamored with them that like the entire documentary just turned into like him photographing them and him just like doing interviews, and it ended up being a completely different documentary. And I remember thinking like, fuck, these dudes are legit. Like these are the baddest
Sherpas.
Yeah, these are the baddest dudes on the planet. The shit that, and also just because the shit that they put up with, because of like what's expected of them is so far greater than just like, yeah, you're here as a guide. Like the amount of people who are just like paying into a situation that they are not prepared to be in at all whatsoever, and their lives.
Every Sherpa expedition is basically like every weird science fiction movie of rich guy, rich something, company demands like, you military people, you take us into space.
Sure.
You take us across the galaxy.
You capture that dinosaur. You capture that alien. You build this thing. Yeah, exactly.
And everybody does it poorly except for the Sherpas. Like, I don't know how the Sherpas are not the most badass characters in all things, where it's like, you want it done? Sherpa does it and they come back.
You want it done? Sherpa does it.
Like the bloodline, the Samoan dynasty being like, oh, they're the best. Like, there's none better in wrestling. Yeah, because there's been no fucking Sherpas yet.
Right.
You bring in a Sherpas in wrestling, it's over. That's it.
It's also because of like the like religious element. And this, well, I don't know if you would call it religious, the spiritual element. Like, because they're also, all Sherpas are kind of spiritual leaders. Where like
what goes up must come down.
There you go. Well, because they have to do like ceremonies to allow for like the mountain to allow passengers and to allow they're fucking crazy. Like, these people are amazing. Absolutely.
I figured they just charge by the hour, so they're just fucking with people.
Right. They're like, oh, yeah, you can't wear those boots. You need very specific types of boots. We happen to sell them. It's all just like a con.
Really? My boots don't work? I have to buy yours?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to. You get to.
You get the gods have allowed you to buy my Sherpa boots. Right on. Well, good for him.
So that happens. We'll take a bit of a downer turn here.
Oh no.
Unfortunately. Jim Ross is diagnosed with colon cancer.
Yeah.
Another health challenge for 73-year-old Jim Ross. He sent out a social media post letting everyone know that he's going to be undergoing surgery. I believe he had a battle with this previously. He had dealt with some skin cancer recently, recovered from a broken hip. So he's in good spirits from what he's posted. He posted that I'm not going to bitch and moan about poor me.
Right.
That don't heal nothing. Nobody wants to hear that shit. In any event, things are good. Things are good here. So
let's hope he sticks to the doctor's orders, unlike that Sting match. Where he because didn't he like
Jim Ross jumped the rail and was like, I'm gonna fight the Young Bucks too, you sons of bitches.
No, didn't like his doctors tell him that he wasn't allowed to go to it, and he just did it anyway, and he was like, fuck it, I don't care.
Oh, I'm not familiar. I mean, I could see that.
I mean, God, you don't ask the guy with the shittiest memory alive, but I recall reading something about him defying a doctor's orders. Maybe it was kayfabe. Maybe it was like he loves the man so much he defied doctor orders to be here. But I feel like I remember reading something about that or seeing it on a social at some point.
I mean, that'd certainly be tough when you probably look at so many people
Right.
in your life, in your work, and you say they were a pivotal part of my career.
Right.
And they're a good person and they're a good friend.
Right.
I gotta be there for this thing. And I work at the same company. So, and if you've already had all these other battles of everything with a fucking doctor and your own health issues, you're like, I don't fucking care. I'd rather go to this thing
Right.
than be at home and be in pain and be miserable.
And maybe
and if something happens,
Yeah.
I at least got to see a cool show.
Maybe I die, and hey, that's just good. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
That's right.
Sting wrestled so good he killed a man
That's
who
right.
wasn't even in the match.
He couldn't even call his own death. Second bummer of the day. Chael Sonnen joins Hulk Hogan's Real American Freestyle as a commentator.
He's I know the name. Was he the MMA guy who everybody thought was gonna go to WWE because he was like really like he had like he was a good talker and he had like a lot of personality? Or am I confused?
He's got the gift of the gab.
Yeah, okay. I think I think I remember. And this would have been like
Punk are friends.
This would have been like 15 years ago or so, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so he really got on the map when MMA fighter Anderson Silva
I
was just
remember
this
that
unstoppable force, like
Right.
came in, fucking broke a dude's nose and took out a guy that was just like America's sweetheart and just really great and just annihilated him. And ran through everybody, was on an undefeated streak. And then Chael comes along and God, all the interview and press stuff is just outstanding. You can look up like best of Chael Sonnen clips and he's just fucking outstanding. Name calling, talking about where he's from, saying like, ask him the question in English. He can fucking speak English. He's just treating it like he can.
Right.
Like, don't do this. He's so good. And he was very popular too for a period of time doing like Adam Carolla style. Like you give him a subject and he'll just give you a rant and like an opinion of something. And you go, that's really well thought out and like really interesting or a fun perspective. He may have just thought of it.
Sure.
Like who knows if he's putting prep into that sort of thing. He's a very fascinating character. And it seemed like when his MMA days were done, well, he's built for pro wrestling.
Right.
Like if he's not going to be in the sport directly, like how's he not a commentator?
Right. Sure.
But no, sadly we waited all those many years and the wrestling that masses of people don't want to watch.
Is there any chance that this makes it to a second show?
What do you mean? Like a second season?
Oh, why are they shooting an entire season of it? I thought it was gonna be like a live event and then another live event. I thought.
Oh, I thought, yeah, this is just in theory, like it goes for as long as the money mark, the third guy
Right.
wants to keep funding it.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't, it's just those fucking stupid people. I just dumb. And
I'm glad Chael's taking the money, I suppose. But
sure, but I don't know. Like, there's something. Honestly, there's something about how these like fucking right wing loons have like co-opted fucking patriotism, despite the fact that everything they believe is wholly anti-American. And like anybody who goes to the fucking Trump MSG event or whatever it is, and then names their companies Real American Beer and Real American whatever. It's just so like, it's such like,
look, MSG's not that bad for you. Apparently, MSG is supposed to be like
pretty healthy,
just really tasty and it got a bad rap.
Yeah, I agree with that, but yeah, I don't know. It's so fucking infuriating. It's what it is. It's just like everything about this angers me. I'm triggered. I'm a triggered lib. What can I say?
It sucks that, yes, from my perspective as well, where this feels like a political brand of
Right.
sport rather than, because the Bischoff, questionable at best. Hogan, like, you don't give a fuck about freestyle wrestling. That is
No.
so obvious. and you're just on the brand and you're taking money and you don't know you in your interviews, like you've fucked up, you've lied about Brock's past and how you discovered him. You can't get Shelton Benjamin's name right.
Wait, really? When did that happen?
Oh, every time he's spoken about
Amazing.
it. So when he's on the circuit,
Right.
like talking about this, because we've never really chatted about it on the show.
Right.
Because when it was announced, like we were doing a show that day,
Right.
and the ad had come out, and we didn't really know what it was.
Right.
We thought it was another pro wrestling company, not the amateur
or a podcast or something. We were a little like,
Right.
yeah.
So Hogan has gone on and said like, oh yeah, there's a lot of great shooters and a lot of great wrestlers that came from the world of amateur wrestling, and now they're in pro wrestling. So the timeline of Brock, like I got Brock when he was straight out of the UFC, and I did this with him. I did that with him. It's like no, dude, that's fucking your timeline is incorrect. You got he was in fucking OVW, and then immediately shot to WWE, and he got him in the first year, and then Brock left a year.
When you say he
like
got
less
him,
than a year,
when he got him, what do you mean?
Hogan acts like Brock was in UFC,
Right.
and then Hogan was like, we need him.
Like poached him
And-
as a producer, creator. Right. Yes.
and then
got it.
said, we need to wrestle.
Right.
Like what he did with the Giant, what he did with Big Show,
Right.
which is like, that's
Totally.
the story of
Found him
I
in a
think
car
he played
dealership.
basketball,
Yeah. Found him in a car dealership.
was at the show, and then it's like, you need to be a pro wrestler.
Oh, got it.
Actually brought him in. They didn't train him, and then they made him world champion. Yeah. Then he treats that with other people. Like he's done that. He's told the story with Undertaker. I was doing this movie, Suburban Commando. We needed a big guy, and I remembered him from this place, and then I got him into WWE after that. Like, no, the timeline of that is all totally incorrect.
Yeah. None of that
None
happened.
of that's true.
Right.
And he thinks that nothing's recorded or no one knows that's what's going on. So then when he mentions Benjamin Shelton,
Oh, Benjamin Shelton. Oh, in fairness, it did happen with Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan, so I get it.
right? But Hogan is known to hate phone books.
Benjamin
So
Shelton.
So
Fuck, that's good.
Shelton has also responded online. You should find
Oh,
that
really?
response.
Is
It's pretty.
it
it's pretty
written
good.
out? Let me see.
Yeah.
So what do I
it's a
search for? I
tweet,
search for
believe.
Benjamin Shelton responds to
Hulkamus Hogan.
Hulkamus. Hulkamus is a great name.
That's a Piper line. That's
Oh,
not me.
Hulkamus?
That's my favorite Piper's Pit when Piper interviews himself.
Oh my God, we had.
Where,
Okay, go.
Ma Hogan
Can I just
and Hulkamus Hogan.
Can I tell you, I had this great little moment that I had with Alexandra the other day, where she said something. She made a joke in a thread or not a thread, like a group chat. It was one of our friends' birthdays, and
Mhm.
she made a joke that was a reference to, I came here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Right? She made it was like that was what the format of her joke was. She came here to do blank and blank, but she's all out of blank. And I said, I was like, oh, that's great. And I was like, oh, that's a great joke. She's like, yeah, like the wrestler used to say. And I was like, what do you mean like the wrestler used to say? She's like, there was like that wrestler who said that, right? And I was like, you mean Roddy Piper? She's like, yeah. And I was like, you mean like the wrestler who was in the movie? And she was like, wait, that was a wrestler that was in that? And I was like, yeah, They Lived, the movie where he said, and she had no idea. And it was so fun for me to put those pieces together for her. Like she did not realize that Roddy Piper, who she has seen because of me, because of Me, You, and 30, and because of other things, like she was like, oh, I would have never put that together at the time. I was, growing up, just there was no connection there. And now I'm like so thrilled that we're gonna watch like They Live, and she's gonna be like, oh, this now I could see where it came from and how he was a wrestler. She's like, she knows him best from Always Sunny.
He's only got 2 episodes, I think.
I know, but that's still, that's her experience with him as an actor. I mean, like, I was like,
Gotcha.
no, man, he's in They Live. By the way, I found someone on Facebook Marketplace as a sealed copy of They Live. It might be the steel book. I don't know. It's one of the fancy ones, and
There's a lot.
they were only asking for like $10 for it sealed, and I was like, I'm gonna see if I can get it for $5 because I'm a dick.
Yeah, there's a lot. I have 3 copies of the movie myself.
Oh, is one of them on Blu-ray? Can I just have it without paying you anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You'd also have to come get it, and you don't do that.
I mean, listen, we bring the dogs down to the Huntington Dog Beach. Maybe we'll, I'm already going down that far. Might as well just take a detour for a movie. Anyways, well, sorry about Chael Sonnen. What was his name again?
Chael Sonnen.
Oh, like I nailed it. Perfect. First
Ish.
time. Got it right.
So our main story that we're going to talk about, I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but by God, we got to talk about this. Triple H confirms New Orleans will host WWE Money in the Bank in 2026 and WrestleMania at a future date. Did you see this video that he put out?
No, I didn't see a video. I just saw people post about it in our Discord. Completely free. Find the link at pwpalskis.com. Discord.
Pew, pew. So this was very strange. It's not as bad as this. I'm exaggerating, but there are elements of it when first watching it, I go, seems like a hostage video.
In what way?
In the way that it was confirmed and, all things set that WrestleMania 40, I'm trying to get used to the numbers again, 42?
Okay.
Was set to be in New Orleans. The marketing had started, tickets announced, all that kind of stuff. The dates were set. And then they go, hey, hold on, everybody. I know you're going to want to spit your water out, but it's okay. You can swallow. WrestleMania instead is happening in Vegas. Again.
Great.
But here's the good stuff, everybody. Hey, New Orleans is getting Money in the Bank.
Okay.
So it's this weird spin of like, don't worry about the New Orleans part. Like that's not even a thing. Like, don't even sweat it. New Orleans is getting Money in the Bank.
It's got money right in the name. So it's clearly going to make you a lot more than a WrestleMania. Nobody wants Mania. That's a bad thing. Negative. Mania is considered a negative. What you want is Money in the Bank.
So Money in the Bank is coming to New Orleans on August 29th, 2026. And that he said WrestleMania will be coming to the city, quote, at a later date.
Okay. Which could be 2046.
Yes.
Technically, that is a later date.
This is, to me, reeking of like TKO executives. It's been known forever because it is as such, like UFC in Vegas, that's home for them.
Right.
Like that's where the headquarters, all shit lies. Like that's where Dana White lives. That's where a bunch of the fighters are. They have the majority for a long period of time. Anyway, I don't know anymore. We're like the hub of like main fights where we're in Vegas.
Right.
And then them quickly doing WrestleMania in Vegas since the merger. Like, okay, that makes sense. You're going to have all this there. You're going to do the synergy and all that stuff. Like, sure. Oh, now we're going back to back. When does WrestleMania go fucking back to back anywhere in the time that we've gone to stadiums and the times that we
like outside of like the MSG eras or like some of those like the bigger arenas.
Yeah, the territory days.
Yeah,
or, something like that. Where
I can't.
And then
you would
with
be
the
better
exception too of Raymond James Stadium during COVID. Like,
yeah, it doesn't
we were
count.
supposed to have an event,
right?
Then we had fucking nobody, so we just did it.
Right.
They didn't even have it there.
No, they had it at Full Sail. Yeah.
Right. And then the following year, it's like, we do have it and it's at half capacity. Like,
right.
They didn't even do the following year to go, now we're going to do it for real, full capacity this time.
Right. Yeah. You would know better than I would, because I don't really remember where, like, I need to see the logo to tell you where it took place,
It's like 4 years apart, which is really the closest that comes to memory for me was New Orleans.
Right.
That was 30 and 34.
Right. Because I do recall the stage. I remember Charlotte walking out under a big, Mardi Gras kind of thing. Yeah.
And you get some Floridas, but again,
right.
years apart.
No, yeah.
Back to back? No.
Is the reason because something else was happening or they negotiated for a different thing in New Orleans that same time? Or was it because Vegas somehow got ahead of like Vegas? Was this Vegas doing something in their benefit, or was this something that was happening to New Orleans that made it so they couldn't capitalize? If that made any sense.
I'm gonna guess what you're talking about.
Okay, like What I'm saying is, like, was there another event happening in New Orleans that it became apparent, like, oh, it's a bad idea to have Mania here at this specific point in time?
Do you know that people drink on that weekend? We can't do WrestleMania then.
I just thought maybe a competing live event that they didn't want to split crowd to, or split, I don't know, or they were worried about, city capacities and that kind of shit. Or if
Tuba Toonami goes on then, and it's really big in the anime culture.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover there.
And they are like, Tuba Toonami, the streets are filled with overweight guys with tubas. Do we really want to compete with that? But they decided to. No, this was pretty much all set. Like I said, marketing, all this stuff happened. They don't really. That's not really a thing where they make mistakes.
Sure.
Oh shit, we signed up and we're gonna do all this. And
I guess in my mind, it wouldn't have necessarily been a mistake as much as like a new development. Whereas like, oh, this other opportunity presented itself, or I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck this
I'm
would
going the
happen.
shadier side of things where
Sure.
they reneged on a deal is how I look at it.
And by they, you mean WWE.
WWE, or you know what? I'd
or
say
TKO, right? Yeah.
Because to me, this is an indicator with times like we talk about the Travis Scott thing. We talk about The Rock being called in because ticket sales were so bad at Elimination Chamber that The Rock is announced to show up. And then we got the Cody, like, sell your soul
right
type thing. Like, these feel like TKO moves and not WWE moves.
I can see that. I could see that. Yeah.
The Vince of it all isn't there to go, fuck off. No, this is what we're doing. The buck stops here. I say what happens. And there's no one above me to make a change like this. As much as we always shit on Vince or for whatever reasons, there were still certain things where things like this didn't happen. Unless you're dealing with the Indianapolis, the Los Angeles WrestleMania slaughter and Hogan ticket sales are shit. Oh, we had a bomb threat.
Right.
So we're moving
to
arenas.
A smaller arena. Right. Yeah.
For no reason totally whatsoever. But this just feels like executives going, no, everything went great in Vegas. We want all this in Vegas. Like, we're doing that again in Vegas. We set this up with fucking New Orleans. Like,
does Vegas like start just becoming a de facto home of WrestleMania? Like how many?
And a lot of things WWE potentially.
Yeah.
Like you could see it. I thought about this when I heard about it. I thought NXT and all that stuff moved to Vegas. Does the training and developmental and all that stuff?
Right.
I know there's like tax breaks and all that kind of shit when you are in Florida, but does everyone else just go, no, we want in Vegas. Like that's our hub now. You go there. And they just do.
I mean, it feels like the thing that keeps them in Florida is the Performance Center, which it seems like you could easily just make one in Vegas and call it a day, right?
Yeah, they've got a bunch of training gyms and everything for UFC in Vegas.
Because they moved out of Full Sail entirely when the Performance Center went up, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I could see it.
You should watch the video when you get a chance because it's.
Will do.
It doesn't feel like the normal Triple H. Watch it with the sound off. Do that right now. You can watch it with the sound off, and you don't get the vibe of like a Triple H going, all right, everybody. In wrestling, there's heels. Okay, those are the bad guys, and I'm telling you things, and I'm still thrilled to be doing it. This feels like read it word for fucking word,
all right.
Or we're gonna give Stephanie another show.
All right, here I'll
Okay, just don't stop giving her shows. Okay, I'll read it.
All right, here I have a transcript of it. I'll read it right here. It says, "Message to Hulk Hogan: You lost me forever with your don't get caught, or as you would call it, apology speech. So rather than screw up my name and pretend we have ever had any sort of camaraderie, which we never had, please do me a favor and keep my name out your fucking mouth." Okay, sorry, that was obviously in reference to a previous story, but it was still on my screen and we never addressed it. So before I Google and replace this screen with the new video, I wanted to put that out there. Okay, anyways.
I'm glad you read what Jim Ross said.
Wait, is that? Oh, right, gotcha. Let's see here. Triple H WrestleMania announcement, I guess. WrestleMania announcement.
It's from his Twitter from May 23rd, 2025.
1 day ago. Yeah, Triple H makes major announcement regarding New Orleans. Oh, God damn it. This is some YouTube video about some douchebags like us talking about it. Oh my gosh. Triple H. Let's go. Hey, the game Triple H. Boosh. All right, shut up. When was this? April 19th. This is proving much harder to find than it should be, Scott.
You got the Twitter still, right?
No, I have to like fucking it's only showing me like one of his things. I have to log in, which I don't have any of that stuff.
Triple H New Orleans 2026.
Triple H New Orleans.
Because again, they're trying not to play up the part about WrestleMania being in Vegas. It's about, whoa, look at what New Orleans is getting, not WrestleMania.
Right. Oh yeah, here we go.
I'm sure everyone saw our joint statement yesterday regarding the shift in some of the dates on the WWE calendar.
Okay.
Today I want to announce to you the first of those.
I'm just listening to this.
We're very excited about.
Do you see his face?
He does look. He's reading from the cue cards that they put in front of him. And it looks like
wearing his cheaters.
It looks to me like he is being held hostage. You are correct.
They have the sparklies in the video.
Yeah, they
for
do.
The Money in the Bank logo to make it look like everything's fine. Look at all those sparkly coins.
Yeah.
Everything's
Oh my God,
okay.
the first.
Remember when Vince would do this and
first
tell everybody, "Hey, everybody, fucking the TNT Stadium is gonna get TLC."
The
So
first comment that I noticed is somebody saying Hunter looks very forced into saying this. Yeah. This is strange. There are a lot of people who are from New Orleans being like, yeah, how about you apologize to the New Orleans people who were excited? I mean, yeah, I don't know. Is it more expensive to go to Vegas than it is to New Orleans as a person? Because I can imagine
the titty bars are better in Vegas.
You think the ticket prices are better, so it's probably cheaper to get to Vegas then?
I said titty bars.
Oh, I thought you said something about tickets. All right, never mind.
I think flights to Vegas are always cheaper. It's easier to get to Vegas overall,
Right.
than I think most places in the country.
I mean, I think that would be the only benefit to the fan base is the ability to like easier to get there, more convenient. It's more of a tourist town, I suppose, than New Orleans is, even though it's still very touristy. New Orleans, it's
just certainly not what it is. I mean, if you're in New Orleans and you got the money, right? Like let's eliminate the money out of the equation of why you'd be bummed about this, because you go, oh well, cool, you brought in another event that I could maybe afford rather than All Things Mania,
right?
But with Mania, you're getting like a super stacked card in some way, right? Like you're getting 2 nights of something. You're getting all the major stars that they're going to throw on your show that you're going to attend. So you're getting 2 nights and a bunch of stars. Whether or not you like the card, that's who knows,
right?
But Money in the Bank is like, yeah, I know I could see 2 Money in the Bank matches, but I might not give a fuck about any of these people. Like that's not all the major stars that are going to be necessarily competing or on that show. That could be a 5-match show, and it could have people that I don't. There's not that big guarantee of the spectacle and the stars, and then you don't have the week of shows that occur there. All the Mania stuff in and around it. You don't get the Superstar. You don't get that whole fucking WrestleMania feel. All the big shit that's involved that they've promoted and sold to be this epic, huge thing.
This week and a half,
as they are.
2-week long event. Yeah, exactly. Where they just completely take over.
Yeah, and if you weren't watching a couple years ago, you can go like, oh, now I'm into it. Oh, I see that. Yeah, that wasn't really my thing then. Like, cool for that Bryan Danielson guy to come back, or like, and then he won 4 years before. Like, oh, whatever, cool. But I want to fucking go now.
Right.
It's It's weird. Like they don't do stuff like this. This is a weird marker to notice that this is weird behavior from them.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be one of those things where, like, in a year from now, we get like some truths that we don't currently have, or if this is just like you said, like maybe it's just TKO being just kind of a shitty company.
Yeah, like nope, it happens here now. Can somebody else say this? Can
Does-
Nick Khan say this?
Do
please?
There's got to, now that everything is TKO, there also has to be, like, when negotiating with cities and venues and however the fuck any of that shit works,
Right.
there has to be now the combination of WWE and UFC, right? Like that's got to be like, these are our companies, so you get this time, this another time. Like, so I wonder if this is also like part of a UFC deal for New Orleans at some point that affected that. Like, who the fuck knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly brought out a lot of UFC people for WrestleMania this year, and at some point I can see in a week, WrestleMania is one night and a big UFC event is the next night, or vice versa. You know,
Right.
That why wouldn't you if it's all in the same thing and you can sell the duo night ticket or something like that, or you can go to one or the other and there's still cross promotion going on, or we're still going to get something at some point. I think they missed a window on a couple people like a Daniel Cormier, who's a big wrestling fan, or a Chael Sonnen, where if it was all under one company and you would have had the cross promotional fight,
Right.
at some point that's going to happen.
Right.
They're going to get the shooter of WWE to fight
Right.
someone who's savvy enough and likes wrestling and can talk a good game. And you go, oh, they're going to, can you believe it? The UFC star and the WWE star are going to collide.
Yeah. What was who were the last people that did that? Velasquez? No, what was that guy's name?
He was a while ago.
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez, and then Tyson Fury. Well, Tyson Fury's a boxer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's been a while.
I'm trying to think. AEW.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm
had
more about
had their crews of guys. Like they do it every so often, but it's usually, it's hard to get the window where you get the big UFC star,
right,
or you get one that's like kind of a dud when it comes to talking.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I think we're gonna end up with stories that come out of this. Some whistleblower is gonna explain all this weird wonkiness, and I almost guarantee it has to do with some weird fucking TKO shit.
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
Either way, are you going?
Yeah, and I'll be there next week at your place to record live.
All right. Well, I think that does it for the news, right?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Hey, did you guys out there listening in the listening world, did you guys know that we have a hotline? Well, you fucking should, because it's been around for ages. 747-666-5606. That's the number of the Pro Wrestling Palskis hotline. Put it in your phone and call it whenever you have a dumb thought about wrestling or a smart one. We don't discriminate.
Or if you're at a DUI checkpoint and you're freaking out.
Or if you
give us a call.
Or if you need us to put it down as a reference because you're applying somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll call and get the fucking voicemail that goes on for too long. I'm like, what is this number you gave us?
To figure out if Tim Bemis would be a good dog catcher.
Catcher.
He put you down as a reference.
Not a dog sitter, but a dog catcher he's applying to be. Wow.
He says he has a really giant net on a stick, and he knows how to drive a van.
Great.
And he doesn't put up with any hooey. So,
and when he tiptoes, the sound of the top piano keys just happen automatically in the world.
So if you give us a call back and let us know about Mr. Beams.
Great. Once again, 747-666-5606. Scott and Ivor, let's see what we got on the hotline today.
Okay.
Hey, y'all. This is Mask Llama of the Legendary Fighting Federation. And I was just reading about Saturday night's main event. I thought it was kind of cool they brought back Saturday night's main event. But I was thinking, with Raw on the decline in ratings, what if they scrapped Raw and brought back primetime wrestling? Who would you like to see be the host? What changes do you think they should make? Since it is a 30-year-old program now, I probably need some changes. But yeah, which is kind of one of your thoughts on if they rebooted primetime. How would you recommend they do it? Anyway, I'll take your answer off air. Bye, y'all.
Mass Llama. He thinks that WWE should just get rid of Raw. Fuck that stupid show. Nobody cares about it anyway.
I mean, I could see Mass Llama being a Tubi guy.
He says, let's get rid of
Netflix.
Raw.
I'm not paying for that. There's ads. Fuck that shit.
Nobody cares about Raw, but what we care about is prime time wrestling.
I mean, I certainly do.
Yeah. I mean, that's
one of my favorite shows.
Those are big shoes to fill. And
yeah, because one of them's shoes of a gorilla.
And so the format, like he says, like, oh, how would you modernize it for the modern era? It's like, I don't think that you do really, because I think it's kind of a timeless format. There's a reason why talk shows have been most of the same for fucking, ever. Like the late night ones. I think you could
potentially have more bits in studio.
Sure.
Because they would have, Heenan would have his phone.
Yes.
Something like that. It's like, all right, that would be hard to translate and bring modern audiences. Like you have a hotline or something essentially where it's like, why would they have a landline? Like have graphics, have more, not necessarily a sports type show where they're looking at things, but the Heenan of it, right, could be having like, well, I did some research, I did some statistics, so I can show you, and that could be fucked up, or it could be totally biased and weird data where
they would probably mine from social media and be like, oh, well, we found this person who said this, and it's like something that somebody said in social media, and they turn it into a bit, or they turn it into kayfabe in some way, or like, you know,
like, well, that's a picture of Chad Gable. So is that Chad Gable's account? Is that him saying it? Like,
right.
How am I supposed to take that as a source?
I think social media would be the way that it's updated. And the fact that, of course, it wouldn't be on TV, it would probably be on YouTube. But yeah, who would be Monsoon and who would be, Heenan?
Man, the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about this wonderful difficulty of casting these two is who's got the chemistry between them,
right?
That those two did. I certainly think that Corey Graves and Byron Saxton have a very fun on-screen chemistry together.
Yeah.
Is it to that level? No. But it's good. It's something that you'd want out of some people. I'm trying to think of who else.
I mean, you will dislike this, but the unfortunate reality is it will end up just being Cole and McAfee, because that is kind of the dynamic, whether or not it's as good, like the dynamic of like McAfee just saying shit and being crazy. The difference, of course, is that Heenan was more of the heel in this instance.
Yes.
But like, it's still the kind of like, you've got a loudmouth, and then you've got the, the person who's there to like do the business and to be serious.
Yeah, but if I'm going to be real nitpicky about it, Gorilla would muscle up, and once he told Heenan to stop it, he'd stop it.
I almost
Cole's got none of that.
I almost sort of feel like Barrett is more of a good, like he could play the heel in a way that would be funny. Like he's very good at, being believable as the guy who's a ball buster. He is very funny, even though he doesn't necessarily like spit out jokes. There's a lot of lines. He's got lines that come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
He's not as genuine because
no,
Gorilla has that grandpa energy.
100%.
That's just so lovable and so charming. And then hey, knock it off.
Yeah, it just doesn't really exist, right? Like that person doesn't exist in modern day, like in the world of commentators and interviewers and that kind of like, yeah, that person's just not really there. I mean, it's Michael Cole. That's the sad reality. He's like the elder statesman. Outside of like like the JR, of course, but I don't really think that works.
He's probably on my mind because we've been chatting about him, but there's some elements that Big E has that are kind of similar to Gorilla, and I'm wondering if he could potentially play
the nice guy, the moral
he certainly
compass.
That's a guy that does have chemistry with a lot of people.
He does, because he's very just like earnest. He is like who he is, and he's very, yeah. That's not bad. Who would
he's my go-to for the gorilla right now. Is
who
Big
would
E.
be who would be Heenan? I mean, a part of me just goes, yeah, no, you throw fucking Paul Heyman on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's who he learned from.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I mean, in that instance, do you? No,
You're never gonna get on location bits out of Heyman though.
no.
It's never gonna be like a tumble and fall or he plays golf poorly.
Yeah. Shit, it's a tough one, Mass Llama. It just goes to show you how great Heenan was that we're struggling to find the best version of what that is now. And here's the thing is, I'm sure a lot of people could do it well. But if we're tasked with doing this ourselves, like we want it to be like the best fucking person.
Yeah, if we did a real deep dive on this.
Yeah.
But this is just
Off the
people
cuff.
who come to mind. But I am gonna look up the roster page. And I know everybody right now is going, oh come on, Heenan, that's Kathy Kelly, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
I mean,
look
who's
at
it?
some potential.
Who's it? Like who is our commentators across all the shows right now? We've got
Why are you only looking at commentators? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I guess behind the scenes people. Oh, because it could be wrestlers or it could be.
Yeah, because they were wrestling.
Yeah, of course. I mean, in that case, like, do you think the Miz?
There'd
is
probably
funny
be
enough?
a bunch of them that'd be like, wait, I don't have to take pumps and I can
Right.
host this fucking show.
I was gonna say, it was the Miz funny enough? Is he good enough off the cuff? Probably not.
I don't think the
But-
Miz gives enough.
Right? Yeah, and you're right. That's what it is. But I feel like that's the world that we would be
Heenan
in.
knew when to give and take. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't all just my bit. He'd wait because he's savvy enough to know, like, oh no, he'll give me things, and I can just react off of something. Like I'm good with Gorilla. Like I'm fine.
Right.
He's not there yet. I was almost gonna say like McIntyre's got a bit of something there to work with, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take him away from the ring just
No,
yet.
yeah. I Punk came to mind a little bit just because it's like, well,
Yeah.
he is probably towards the end, and that would be a fun thing for him to do, and he would be.
He'd be great at it.
Yeah, like Punk comes to mind as someone who could, also Kevin Owens,
Oh yeah.
because Kevin Owens is very quick, like really, really quick, quicker than probably most of the wrestlers. As far as just like having a joke ready at all times, whether or not he realizes it or not.
Big E and Kevin Owens.
That what that might be the dream team right there.
That might be.
Because they also
we could keep digging, but that's pretty great for that. That's all right. You guys got a month. Go and just hang out and just get that chemistry rolling.
Yeah.
Sorry, Uncle Howdy.
All right. Well, I hope that suffices, Mass Llama. Thanks for the call. That's a fun one.
That's some screen tests. That's going through some execs like that. That gets a run.
If you
Get
also
a pilot episode.
if you're also interested in reviving wrestling shows of yesteryear, the hotline number once again 747-666-5606.
Call in with your primetime wrestling hosts.
Yeah.
Let us know who it is. Are you picking commentators? Are you going mono wrestlers? Like what? Are you pulling from other companies? Like who's your ideal dream team of hosting that show? Call us and let us know.
That'll do it for this week's program. But before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody that we do have a Patreon, and there is a ton of shit there. Oh my gosh, there is so much stuff at the Patreon. The Patreon is probably like a fucking billion hours. Don't listen. Don't test me. It's a billion hours of material that you can listen to and watch.
Yeah, no need. He's got Hep C. We know it.
Yeah. So much stuff to watch there. Watch along Wednesdays, going strong. We batched a bunch so that we could do them in person. So we've got a lot of those still coming with the video versions, picture in picture. We've got,
And apologies to everybody. By the time you're listening to this, the watch along has gone up for the week, but I've had a very unusual week, so it came out a little bit later. But
it's there. and it's just added to a ever-growing library of both audio and video episodes of that series, as well as a bunch of other stuff there at the Patreon. $5 gets you everything. $5 measly gets you everything there is in the Patreon. Please consider becoming a patron. It really helps us commit time to do the program and to, hopefully at the end of the day, just kind of be the heart of what is this wrestling community that we have created of like-minded wrestling nerds and general, pop culture fandom types. Because, Pro Wrestling Palskis is all of us, and that is the ultimate goal, is just kind of create the community. So your Patreon money goes into helping us maintain this community the best way we can.
I agree. We love a cult, and we're the cult leaders.
Yeah. Once again, that's patreon.com/PWPalskis. Scott and Arv, we have to thank our current Patreon Palskis.
Thank you to all of our current Patreon Palskis who are helping support the show and keeping the lights on, whether they're in a garage or in the studio. So thank you to Adrian Avina, AJ0314, Alex Pierce, Alice Rader, Andrea Beeler, Gilbert Short, Mass Llama, Mexican Stallion, Michael Beltran, Mike Lucas, Suicide, Tim Redbeard, Tom Hader, and the current reigning, defending, unstoppable train movie, Tony Griggs, the PWP champ.
Thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the show. Would not, could not, should not do it without you. Hey, while you're at it, and you're all feeling inspired to support Pro Wrestling Palskis, head on over to the shop at pwpalskis.com. Snag yourself a phone case, snag yourself a hat, a hoodie, a mug. We've got all sorts of great stuff there. I love my new brown corduroy PWP hat. Wear it all the time. Another great way to support the show. Find us on the social medias at pwpalskis, at It's Dragon Wagon for all things Dragon Wagon Radio. May or may not have a Royal Rumble themed podcast coming back here in the immediate weeks. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you're into that sort of thing. Anything else that we're forgetting, Scott Norver?
Not that I can think of. I think that pretty much covers the gamut.
Once again, PWP champ Tony Griggs will defend that title next week. Become a patron, challenge him for that title, and end what could be a record-setting reign. You can literally reign on his reign parade.
You can bring him some Gray May and throw down some June gloom.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna May shower on his parade and bring him some June gloom.
I think that's what Brock Lesnar did.
All right, everybody. Hope you had fun. Thanks for joining us. It's always a blast hanging out with you, the Pro Wrestling Pals.
It's Dragon Wagon.